Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Next chapter, chapter 8, name of the chapter function overloading and member function. So in previous chapter, we already learned about classes and objects. You know the meaning of class? Class is a template from which objects are created, or class is a way of grouping objects having similar characteristics. Grouping objects, member data, member functions. And also not only the class, also the use of objects, the object about our collection of data members and associated member function is called as the object. Collection of data members and associated member function. That means in previous chapter we already learned about all class and objects, and we know that the class is the use or the application of classes, the use of the classes going to start with member data and member function is the principal application or the principal features of the object oriented programming. When you are going to develop any OOP program in class, we need to use member data and member function. So the member data and member function is the principal features of the object oriented programming. And also we can say, in other words, the member data member function is used to develop and simplify the object oriented programming method or approach or the program. And so first feature is the about our class object, the class containing member data, member functions. So another feature to help for easier programming or to develop object oriented programming is called as the or known as the polymorphism. Correct, no? Is called as polymorphism here. The another feature to help for easier programming, that is called as the polymorphism. Now what's the meaning of the polymorphism? Okay. The next thing we are going to think about our or study about our the meaning of the polymorphism. Now we know the definition of the polymorphism. The definition of the polymorphism, the ability of an operator and function to take multiple forms. In last class or in previous chapter, I already discussed about by using function, the function is the paint function, and by using such a function, we are going to use such a paint function to paint college, to paint furniture, to paint fabrics. Correct, no? So we can say the definition, the ability of an operator and function to take multiple forms. So this is the definition of the polymorphism. By using the paint function, we can use in multiple forms. And also we can say the polymorphism refers to the one name having many forms. The function name is the same but usable to in different forms here. So refers to the one name having many forms here, or different behavior of an instance of an object depending on the situation. So whatever I completed here, all are the definition and the meaning of the polymorphism, and also some of the features that is used by our object oriented programming. So shall we continue about this one? The next thing about our polymorphism. So our C++ language implements polymorphism by using function overloading and operator overloading. Why? Because the definition of polymorphism going to start the ability of an operator and function to take multiple forms. That means here C++ implement polymorphism through function overloading and operator overloading. Now, the function overloading allow the user to create new abstract data types. Now, here maybe some example is there for our function overloading. Example is the int sum, int a, b, float sum, float p, q. When you are going to see, the function name is the sum, okay. In both sides the function name is the same, name of the function is the sum, but I used different arguments name and different data type of the arguments. Clear this point here? So, we can say that the function overloading allow the user to create new abstract data types, different kind of the data types here. So, in this chapter, we are going to study about new concept, that is the meaning of function overloading, the need for function overloading, that is called as the advantage of function overloading, and also the definition and declaration of function overloading here by using some of the example, and also the disadvantage, that is called as the restrictions on overloaded function. Okay. So, before going to tell the meaning of function overloading, one simple meaning about our function overloading as the discussion is limited to design a set of the functions, correct? No? Many function. In function overloading, not just only one function we are going to define or declare here. Here the number of functions, more than one function going to use in our function overloading. So, the discussion is limited to design of a set of functions, and that perform essentially the same thing, that are going to perform some different kind of the operations. So, all those functions essentially performing the same thing but with a different argument type. Okay. So, this is meaning of function overloading. So, again I am going to repeat, that means the function overloading discussion is very limited and a number of functions we are going to create. Clear this point here, a set of functions, and whatever the functions we created, that essentially performing the same operations but with a different argument type. So, this is the simple meaning of the function overloading. Now, let us see. Now, whatever we completed, that is applied to our introduction. Now, the meaning of function overloading. So, what is the meaning of the function overloading? So, such meaning of function overloading I want to tell by using the example. The function overloading means the two or more function. So, in this example I used two functions as a function overloading. Function name is the sum, S-U-M, okay. In both sides I used the function name is the same. So, means two or more function have the same name, but differ in the number of the arguments and different kind of the data types. That means differ in the number of the arguments and also different kind of the data type. Therefore, it is said that the function name is overloaded. Clear this point here? Function name is overloaded, but in this example, the different kind of the data types are there, but the number of arguments, the number of the data type is just only 2 I used. If you want, you can use 3, and here you can use the 4. Clear this one? So, this is the meaning about our function overloading. So, function overloading means the two or more function have the same name, function name should be the same, but differ in the number of the arguments or differ in the different kind of the data types. So, it is called as the function name is overloaded, or in other words, we can say that function overloading therefore is the process of defining the same function name. Correct no here? Defining the same function name in this case here to carry out different type of operations, different type of the activities, to perform different kind of the operations here. I am going to use the same function name here and with various data items. So it is the other meaning of the function overloading. So in other words, and whatever the meaning I discussed now, the meaning is here defining the same function name to carry out different type of activities with various data item. So this is called about our meaning of function overloading. Clear this point here? So int, function name is the same and different number of the data type int, but here float, and different our numbers, but in both cases I used 2 argument only. Okay, A, B, P, Q. Here also 2, here also 2. So no any difference in the number of the argument, but difference is there in our data type of the arguments. Function name is the same. Okay. Now this is about the meaning of function overloading. Now after knowing the meaning of function overloading, let's see, shall we discuss some need for function overloading. So the need that is called as advantage of the function overloading. So what are the advantages are there in our function overloading? So the first advantage, we can say that before going to tell about all those simple advantage, let's see, the first very important advantage is when the different functions are created for different operations. What's the meaning of this one? The meaning is very simple. That means here we can say that the first function name is the sum, second function name is the num, third function name is the maybe any same. So like that. So the different functions created for different operations, but in our function overloading we can't use different function name. Whatever the functions are there, maybe 10 functions are there, for every function the name is the same. Okay. So when the different functions are created for different operations, then the user has to call the respective function. Correct no? Whatever the function they want to perform, they want to execute, the user need to call the function. Maybe the sum function, num function, same function, whatever the function they created here. And here we can say that respective function, the user has to call the respective function depending on the situation. So instead for different situation, if the same function is called, the function name is the same, maybe 10 functions are there, every function have the same name. Correct here? But with different argument type. That means we surely know that it's the example of function overloading. If the user, so or we can say that instead for different situation, that means different functions for different operation, then user going to execute maybe any one function instead of this situation, different situation. If the same function is called, the function name is the same in this case here, but with the different argument type, then sure we can say that it is the function overloading. Correct no? Then the compiler automatically decide about the appropriate function by comparing the argument type. Maybe this function argument type may be here whole number, but when you are going to perform operation, the sum function only, but we can use the floating value, that means in fractional points, different kind of the operation sum only, but here by using 10 plus 10, but here by using 10.5. So by comparing the argument type, in this case the compiler chooses the appropriate function by comparing the different type in this case. Okay. So in this case, that means the compiler call the required function or used in the required function if you are using function overloading, the code execution is very faster compared to the other number of functions. So this is one advantage of the function overloading. Clear this point here? Instead of using different number of the operations, okay, the different operations, different function name, if you are using different function name, then the code execution is very slow. But instead of this one different function name, if you are using same function name here, then code is going to execute very faster, and our compiler automatically chooses the appropriate function by comparing the argument type here in our function overloading, or we can say that used in call to the function, call the required function. When if you are going through the function overloading, the code execution is very faster. So this is the first advantage about our function overloading. And the second advantage, easier to understand the flow of information. So whatever the operation, whatever the code we are going to write, it very easier to understand, okay, in our function overloading, and also very easier to debug. You know the meaning of debug? That means to make some of the changes, maybe if any error, if any mistake or anything, we can make very easily all those changes here. So the second advantage, easier to understand the flow of information. That means very easily we can understand the code, how it going to flow. And later next one is about our, and very easier to make the debugging, okay, of the program. And the next advantage, the code maintenance very easy, okay. So whatever the code is there, to understand the code or the flow of information of the code here, so very easily we can maintains all those code very easily here. And the next advantage we can say as the interface between the program and real world object. That means very easily we can make the connection, okay, the easier connection that is between the program and the real world object. That means very easily we can get the output by using the method like our function overloading. So this is the advantage, or we can say as the need for function overloading. So the first advantage of the function overloading is, we can say about our, the code execution is very faster. How we are thinking, the code execution is very faster. Why? Because if we are using different kind of the function name, clear this point here, then very difficult for the compiler in this case here. But instead of this one, if we are using same function name just by using different argument type, then compiler automatically decide the appropriate function that is called the required function. Because of this reason, if you are choosing this method, then execution is become very faster in our function overloading. So this is the first advantage. And the second advantage, very easily we can understand, okay, the flow of information and the debugging here. And the third, we are the code maintenance very easy. And next one is the very easily we can make the connection between program and also the real world objects, okay. And later next one, let's see about our definition and declaration of function overloading. So in our definition and declaration of function overloading, before going to tell here the example, the same example is there. Why? Because this one is called as the declaration, semicolon is there, so it is called as the declaration, okay. So the declaration, and this line is called as the definition of the function overloading. So what about the definition and declaration, the main concept, or otherwise when you are going to explain about this example, we can say that the function, some function that takes two integer arguments. Clear this point here, the function, some function that takes two integer arguments in this case, and that is different from the some function that takes two float argument. So this is the suitable or good example about our function overloading here, okay. So we can take the example also, this some example for our example of the function overloading. And now let's see the definition and declaration of function overloading. So what is the main factor in function overloading? So the main factor in our function overloading is the function's argument list, correct? No? Why? Because the name of the function everywhere is the same. So it is not the main factor. The main factor we can say that maybe the different kind of the argument type or different number of the argument. It is the main factor in our function overloading. And the C++ distinguish the overloaded function based on the number and data type of the arguments, correct? No, kya? Why? Because I already said the main factor in our function overloading is the function argument list. So our C++ distinguish the function overloading depend on the number and data type of the arguments here. And now what's the meaning of function? That means here if the same function is called with a different argument type, different number of the arguments, then it is called as function overloading here. And such function overloading is also calling as the compile time polymorphism. It also called as the compile time polymorphism, okay, the other name of the function overloading. So clear this point here about our definition and declaration or the explanation about our function overloading. Still here I not completed here the definition and declaration. Now just only whatever I explained here, this is about our some concept about the function overloading, the other name of the function overloading, and how we are thinking about it is a function overloading program here. By using which concept you are going to think about, it's a function loading example, okay. Here now let's say the definition and declaration. So in this example, the int product, int p, int q, int r, this is called as declaration of the function overloading, and it is also called as the declaration of the function overloading. But after that, this is called as the definition of the function overloading. How? Why? Because here no any semicolon is there. Clear this point here. So this is the example about our function overloading here. Now in this example we can say that the function product function is overloaded 2 times, correct? No? 2 examples are there, one by using int, second one is there by using float. So such product function is overloaded 2 times. First time with the 3 integer arguments p, q, r by using integer data type with the 3 integer arguments and return type being or return type as a integer value. Clear this point here. And second time the product function with 3 float arguments. Clear this point here. In second time such float function or the product function we can say that it contain 3 arguments, that is float x, float y, float z in this case here, and return type being a float, correct? No? And whatever the function you want to execute, the compiler automatically chooses the right type of functions depending on the number of the arguments and data type of the arguments in our function overloading. So this is the example for our definition and declaration of the function overloading. This is called as the declaration. Why? Because semicolon is there. And so 2 product function is there here. Why? Because the function name is the same but different kind of the data type and different number of the data type, okay. But if you are using the number of the data type, here also 3, here also 3, no any problem, but you should use different data type. Why? Because maybe if your int is there, you need to use the float like that, okay. So we can give one example for our, like that only we can give one example for our function overloading here, okay. So in this example our cout int product p, q, r, no any semicolon, definition of the function overloading, it going to execute product is equal to p into q into r. One simple calculation about our coding in our product function, and like that only the product function we declared by using the data type float, Okay, now such one going to define by using x, y, z data type and number of the arguments, and product is equal to x into x, y into y, z into z. One simple coding for our definition of the function overloading here. And later next one about our restrictions. So what about the restrictions in our function overloading? So in our restrictions about our function overloading, that means the disadvantages of function overloading. So each function in overloaded function must have different argument list. Clear this point here? That means maybe 10 functions are there. If you are going to use function overloading program, if you are going to create function overloading program, then each function should use a different argument list. Clear this one? So this is the disadvantage of function overloading. So each function in a set of overloaded function must have different argument list. And second thing, the second disadvantage we can say as the, if typedef is used for naming a function while going to define any function name, if you are using typedef, 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 okay, here I used int, but instead of int, if you are using typedef here, so if typedef is used for naming a function, then it is not considered as the different type. That means if you are using typedef, then there we are not using different kind of the data types here. So this is the disadvantage of the function overloading. That means by using typedef, we can't create the function overloading program. We need to use maybe data type like int, float, like that data type only we need to use, or maybe the double, all those data type we can use. So this is the main disadvantage of the function overloading. So clear the disadvantage in case of the function overloading. The first one, that means maybe a set of functions, or when you are going to create the function overloading program, we need to use a different kind of the argument list. In this case here, different kind of the data types. And second thing, if you are going to use while going to name the function overloading here, while naming the program, while naming the function, if you are using typedef, then such function is not considered as the different type. We can't use different type of the data types. Okay, if you are using the typedef while defining the function name. Thank you.